Hello, and welcome to the second video in these Desmos lesson explainers. Hopefully you're understanding things as they go, but if you had some trouble with the letters lesson, Unit 1, Lesson 2, here's a video that might help you. Essentially, there are two different skills that the lesson is trying to get you to understand. One is you can find area by adding shapes to the outside of a shape, and two is by cutting the shape into pieces. So let's go through one at a time. First, here is a shape. I'm going to find the area of this shape by adding pieces to the outside of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shape and I'm going to add a triangle up here and a triangle down here. That makes a simple little rectangle that is 3 on this side and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this side, and 3 times 7 is 21. But that shape is bigger than the original parallelogram shape that you were given. So we need to get rid of the part that we aren't using for the parallelogram. We need to take care of the fact that I added some pieces on top of it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this triangle and I'm going to move it off to the side like this. Then I'm going to take this triangle, I'm going to move it off to the side like this. And now notice what's happened. Here it has become a rectangle that's 3 by 1, and 3 times 1 is 3. The original shape is equal to that 21 for the entire big rectangle that we created, minus the 3 that we added, which was not part of the original. And 21 minus 3 is 18, so that means the area of the original parallelogram is 18 square units. When you put something on the outside, you have to subtract it away to get back to the original. Okay, let's try another one. Instead of doing that, let's cut it into pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into here and here. And do you notice now there are 3 pieces? We've got this rectangle in the middle, this triangle up here, and this triangle down here. I'm going to separate those off into their own shapes so that we can examine them one piece at a time. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rectangular piece and move it off to the side. Then I'm going to take this triangular piece off the top. I'm going to move it off to the side. I want to keep them separate so that I can think about them as 3 separate shapes. And then I'm going to take this triangular piece and move it off to the side. Now, can you see that if I put this one up here and this one down here, that what I've done is recreate that shape exactly. So if I can find this area of the red shape, the one on the right, it will be the same as the area of the original shape. So let me separate them again. So now, first, the rectangle is very easy. It's 3 on this side and 5 on this side, and that's 3 times 5 is 15. But how am I going to find the area of those triangular shapes? Well, I'm going to take one of them and put it up here, and look, it turns into, I just have to put it in the right place, there we go. It turns into a rectangular shape that's 3 by 1, so that's 3 times 1 is 3. So one of it's 15, part of it is 15. This part in the middle is 15, and these two parts put together are 3. How do I get the total of that? Well, I'm going to do 15 plus 3 is 18 square units. When you take something and cut it into pieces, you have to then add those pieces back together to get the original shape. Hey, look at this. When I figured out the area this way, it was 18 square units. When I figured out the area this way, it was 18 square units. It's both methods are correct. You may use either one. As long as you do them correctly, your answer will be the same as if you did it a different way. All right, let's try that again. Here's this T shape. I'm first going to add pieces to the outside. So I'm going to take a rectangular shape here and a rectangular shape here. And this makes one big rectangle. This big rectangle is 4 by 5, and 4 times 5 is 20. But remember, when you add shapes to the outside, you have to then subtract that away to get back to the original shape that you were given. So, let me do that. I'm going to take this rectangle and move it over here. And I'm going to take this rectangle and move it over here. And look what we have. We have a rectangle that's 2 by 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. Now remember, when you have something and you've put pieces on the outside that don't really belong to the original shape, you have to subtract to get back to the original shape. So 20 minus 8 is 12 square units. Let's see if that's right. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is right. There are 12 squares inside that T shape, and we found it by putting pieces on the outside and then subtracting them to get back to the original. Let's try it a different way. This time, I'm going to draw a line segment right there. That gives me two shapes. We have this rectangle up here, and we have this rectangle down here. So I'm going to take this part, I'm going to move it off to the side. And obviously I didn't complete it, so let me just draw that little piece there. And now we also have this piece down here, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to move it off to the side also. Now notice, if I put this rectangle right there, that recreates the original T shape exactly. But a mistake that I've seen some students make is they would put it there. Is that the original T shape? No, that's too short. Do you see how it's too short at the bottom? So you don't want to overlap the shapes. You want to put them next to each other. So here they are. Now they're not overlapping. This one is 4 by 1, and 4 times 1 is 4. And this one is 2 by 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. And remember, if we take something and cut it into pieces to get back to the original, we have to add those pieces together. 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 square units. Hey, look, same answer, 12 square units this way, 12 square units this way. All right, so here's a very complicated shape. It's a G shape. So what I'm going to do, I think, is first, I'm going to add some pieces. So I'm going to add a triangle there, and a triangle there, and a triangle there, and a triangle here. And then I'm going to add a rectangle here, and a rectangle here, and a rectangle here. So that makes one big giant rectangle, all included. It is 6 on this side and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this side. And 6 times 9 is 54. But that included all of those pieces that I added on. And remember, when you add shapes on, you have to subtract them away to get back to the original. So I'm going to take this triangle and put it here. And I'm going to take this triangle and put it up here. Then I'm going to take this triangle. Doesn't want me to take that triangle. I'm going to take this triangle and put it here. I'm going to take this triangle and put it here. Then I'm going to take this rectangle. Let's see if it'll like me taking this rectangle. It doesn't like it. Maybe I'll do it this rectangle first. This rectangle. Let's try something. I'll take away these two rectangles first. Then I'll take away just this one, if I can. No, it's all right. I'll take this rectangle. Put it here. And now, so these are all the pieces that I have to take away from that 54 to go back to the original. Well, this is 2 by 2, making up the 4 triangles. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And 2 times 2 is 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4. And this is 3 by 4 is 12. So I need to take away the triangles, which is 4. These 2 little pieces down here, which is 4. And this big rectangle, which is 12. And 4 plus 4 plus 12 is 20. So to get the original G shape, I'll take the 54 and subtract 20. And using all of that, I get 34 square units. That was complex, but remember what I did was take the rectangle away, take these pieces away, and then when they were all together, it was one big rectangle that was 54, and then we took away the areas that are not part of the original G, and we got, that was 20, and 54 minus 20 is 34 square units. Let's try that again, only this time we're just going to cut this into pieces. So I have this piece, which I'm going to put over here. This piece, which I'm going to put over here. This piece, which I'll 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 put over here, and then this kind of weird shaped piece, but it's small, so it should be easy, which I'll put over here. Now, do you see how these all would assemble to make that shape over there? Let me put it together again just to make sure you can see it. So let me move this over here. Let me move this over to here. This back to here. This up to here. This up to here, this over to here, and this over to here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this piece isn't the right size. That piece is the right size, but so let me do this piece. Is actually that big. So you see the way that replaces. Let me just erase what I don't need. And now that goes down here. And that goes here. And you see how that and that are now the same. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, let's take it apart again. And make that one the right size again. Now we'll find the area of each of these pieces, and we'll see, and then add them up, and that will be the area of the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to take this one and bring it down here. And this one, and bring it here. And this one, and put it here. All right, so this is 4 by 2, and that's 4 times 2 is 8. This is 2 by 5. 2 times 5 is 10. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And this is 2 by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. We have to add those all together to get the total. 8 and 10 is 18, and 4 more is 22, and 8 more is 30, and 30 and 4 makes 34 square units total. And look, that and that, same answer either way. All right, I hope that was helpful. Remember, if you need any more help, ask your teacher.